Jen and I talked about our need to increase student engagement, to increase outcomes, and specifically we talked a lot about writing, actually. And we knew that our achievement wasn't where we wanted it to be at the middle school yet. And so we talked about workshop model, we talked about authentic assessment, and I was familiar with EL a little bit. I worked with our partner up at CISA 12, Julie Jensen, and we had talked about it. And Julie and Jen and I were actually meeting this summer, and we dove into it together, just a little bit, just looking at it. And I said, what do you think? What if we had some teachers pilot? And we're like, well, we can offer it, but let's just see. We did have a full ELA day plan. We knew we were going to work. Our focus this year was going to be middle school ELA. We knew that. And so we had that time set aside. We knew what our goals were to look at student engagement through the workshop model, changes in independent reading, and more authentic assessment. So when we presented with them these topics, and we did a full day, Julie, Jen, and myself, we challenged our teachers to implement the 40-book challenge. They ate that up. We challenged them around the workshop model. They asked a lot of questions. And then we presented them with the opportunity to pilot EL if they wish this year, with the promise that it would make implementing the workshop model a little bit easier and the authentic assessment a little bit easier, because that was built into the curriculum.
But prior to that, in that staff development day, we spent a lot of time talking about active learning strategies.
Yes.
How do we get our kids to go from passive to engaged? And so when you brought up EL, I think it was kind of like, okay, we could take these active learning strategies and try to embed them into our existing curriculum. And then you bring up EL that already has these active learning strategies already in. I think that was a really good selling point for them.
That was, and then sometimes opportunity just knocks at the right time. Kate moved into her position at the end of July, beginning of August. We had a teacher move from math to ELA, a veteran teacher move from math to ELA about 2 weeks before school started, who wasn't familiar with the ELA curriculum as it was, watered down a little bit. And so she was willing to kind of jump in. I don't know if she knew what she was getting into when she volunteered, but she was willing to jump in. And I give her all the credit in the world, because
she was a real good springboard on the other teachers watching and saying, wait, what? She's going in. And
probably one of our most veteran teachers, not in that content area, but veteran in that she has experience working with box curriculums and things like that.
And going back to that, she would be moving into an ELA position with a curriculum, like we talked about, that has been made by teachers, but that has no longer been, that those teachers that wrote it are no longer there, and it has been changed. And we always say watered down over time. So I think when you presented her with an opportunity to try a curriculum that had just everything that packaged in a package deal that we needed.
That was vetted, that was highly rated, that actually contained some
real
of the books.
Authentic literature.
Contained some of the books we already had.
Right.
Didn't cost us anything. That she was like, I'll try it.
Yep.
And that was about 5 days before school started. And so I give her all the credit in the world for taking a risk.
Amazing.
And we said, we'll support you. What do you need? And we tried to give her all the support she needed. And then very soon into the school year, when we were trying...
4 weeks.
When we were trying to take our old curriculum, our former curriculum that we knew was watered down, that didn't meet the expectations around workshop model and active engagement, that our teachers, to give them all the credit in the world, were working super hard to get it up there. They said, we want to pilot. Let's pilot second quarter. And we've been up and running since then.